We'll be right without it. Good morning. Welcome to day 2 of the Australian Mixed Ultimate Championships for 2018 here in bright and sunny Ballarat. It's overcast, but conditions are still. I'm Simon Talbot here with Katie Locke.
Good morning, Simon. And yes, classic Ballarat coming and showing us all of the weather it can pack into one day.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised if we get a bit of sun, maybe a bit more rain. Who knows what Ballarat will bring out for these teams today.
Yeah. That being said, just like yesterday, no wind to speak of at all. So both teams will be able to make their big throws and big plays they're accustomed to. We've got Ballarat in the blue and Project Lad in the white. Two Victorian teams.
This will be a great rematch, these two teams having a really close game at Victoria Mixed Ultimate Championships back at the end of August, with Ballarat coming on top with that guaranteed spot. Project Lad coming into this competition with the wildcard awarded to Victoria, so they're coming in as the underdogs. But with this wind not really being existent, I'm interested to see whether that will give Project Lad a bit of an advantage, because Ballarat won't be able to use those typical local windy conditions to their advantage.
Yeah, but both teams have a lot of fast receivers and big throwers, so got an exciting game lined up.
We really do. We see the pool coming in. Ballarat starting on offense. Look out. Picking up that disc, centering to Meehan. Takes it over the cushion. Got a couple of sibling combos on this team. Meehan just pulling it over to Boyle. On that, great over the top. Finds O'Hagan, one of the Oz reps on this team. Got a good starting line here from Ballarat. A couple of Worlds reps. Boyle, and he puts a shot up, but that comes short. That forehand just coming into a bit of a blade. Doesn't go the way he would have liked it, Simon.
Yeah, Ballarat been running with the horizontal stack that was working so well for them yesterday, giving every cutter their own space to work in.
McDonald centering the disc to Lipari. Finds Della. Finds Boda. Now Lucy Della again. We've got another couple of sibling combos on this Project Lad team. Got the two Dellas and the McDonalds. Oh, are we going to get this one down the line? Yes, we do. Lipari. Looking for DeBell.
Not much movement happening in the Project Lad stack. Cuts only sort of coming one by one from a handful of players.
Yeah, it is relatively slow movement here, but they're still finding the options. Using their body position to get in front. Line with the disc knocking on the doorstep. He's looking for that reset to Della. And they get it just over the line. Sneak that one in.
Yeah, nice tidy and patient offense from Project Lad there. They a tendency, especially early in the game, everyone could just get really excited and all cut at once, but I think they just sort of have picked out one or two cutters. I think like the Bell and Lion and Lipari were just really providing those key options. With Lucy Della just being the linchpin there, just providing the resets. I think they were really, some of their cutters are really trying to look to attack the break side, but the throwers just weren't looking there, and so I think that's why they were quite static. But Ballarat's horizontal stack, so lining up across the field, just gave every cutter their own channel to sort of go up and down the field, and you can tell that when certain players of theirs get the disc, you see 3 or 4 deep cuts going at once, so it's sort of pretty obvious what the game plan is, but yeah.
Definitely, and Ballarat on their team profile did tell us to look out for Tom Boyle's throws, and that throw is a bit uncharacteristic of him. Like, he usually has a pretty strong forehand, but the grip may have slipped with the wet disc potentially.
I think he just tried to place it a bit too much. I think he tried to land it in O'Hagan's lap rather than just put it at the end zone and let O'Hagan do the work to run onto it.
Yeah. Now with some fresh lines and couple of same players remaining on. Let's see if Ballarat can punch this one in. They've got Boyle on the line again, as well as some other key throwers in the form of Thorpe and Lyra Meehan.
Again, running for a horizontal stack, choosing to go with Tony on a wing, so she'll throw just too high there for Meehan.
Yeah, so drop from her. Project Lad with another chance to break. McDonald putting the round to Bissett. He finds Meehash.
A lot more activity in this stack with these lines.
Yeah, they're finding great movement and connections here.
There we go, attacking that break side too.
Oh! Bit of a Bit of a bump and contact there between the two lads,
Yeah.
Thorpe and McDonald.
So McDonald calling a strip. Thorpe uncontesting.
He's trying to find options on either side of the field. Gets that
Mihash.
inside break. Oh, that is a fantastic lay there from Rachel Mihash.
Yeah. As soon as that went up, we knew she was getting horizontal. She knew it as well. She thought, here's a great opportunity. But yeah, very well placed throw from McDonald there. He didn't just try and sort of hit her on the run. Just put a lot of touch on it, floated up into space, and let Mihash run it down.
That can be a bit tricky with that inside forehand break as well, but he is a very skilled and experienced player, and that just showed with that throw. And Mihash she loves any excuse to get horizontal. She is the layout queen.
Yeah.
In this team.
And yeah, nice safe catch there. Good body control just to sort of wear the contact to the ground. We've had a few players comment that the ground is nice and flat, but it is actually quite firm coming off the Aussie rules season here. So sort of feels soft underfoot for the first few steps, but players who are landing on it heavily would strongly disagreeing.
Yeah, we saw a couple of players laying out in games yesterday and fairly a bit winded and a bit sore coming down. So
yep. So that's 2 goals straight away to Project Lads, skipping out to a lead. Both teams winless so far. It's been a very, very hotly contested pool of 8 teams. All very close games, but both teams searching for their first win.
Jones with the disc, trying to find those early options.
Tony's off. Nope.
Hagen centres, tries to get that give go from Jones, and it's greatly intercepted there by Chloe McDonald, her older brother, picking up that disc.
Chloe McDonald returning to action after a long time out with an ACL injury, so looks like she hasn't missed a beat.
It's exciting to see her back on the field, and I'm really excited to see her play the upcoming women's season as well.
Yeah.
And Lachlan McDonald puts out into space with Sima Dhaliwal.
Out of bounds, I think.
Bit of a discussion there between...
She might have had her back foot down. Yes, she did.
Dhaliwal.
Great field awareness.
Trying to get that off. Finds it down the field to Robertson. And that's the third break in a row for Project Lad.
Yeah, great grab by Dhaliwal there. The throw was wide and she had Emilia Tony hot in her heels, but she did very well to reel that in.
Yeah, she had great body positioning on that and probably trying to utilise her slight height advantage over Tony just to box her out. And
she did well. She did well rather than just try and look at her feet and the disc at the same time. She just thought, I'm just going to get the foot down, catch it. And the second she caught it, she went straight to players on the sideline and said, what did you see?
Yeah.
And, enough players are watching that just off a perspective. Of course, Dhaliwal's not obligated to take their view. But, both these teams trust each other enough that no one to try and deceive anyone. So
exactly. And we had Kieran Hudson on the sideline with his crutch pointing out, and he and Dhaliwal have a relationship from the last women's season. He was assistant coach of Melbourne Phoenix that Sima played on, so they're all friends here. Everyone's friendly rivalries here. I'm sure both teams want to get up with the win, but at the end of the day, they'll give each other's high fives and hugs and get around each other's success.
Yeah, so Ballarat's horizontal stack, they throwers seem a little bit hesitant early to take the shot, so when the likes of Hagen or Boyle are catching it, or Jones even, their cutters are all heading deep, and they're just holstering their throws. I'm not sure why. They're usually, maybe just because it's the first game of the day.
Potentially, and Ballarat had a very long day yesterday, starting at 8:30, and their final game finishing, at like 8:30?
Quarter past 8,
Yeah, so very, very long day for them, and I mean, they're lucky that they were able to go home and sleep in their own beds, but, that only gives you so much relief.
Yeah. The transition to a vertical stack here, I reckon they'll try and isolate Lyra Mee, and she's been marked up by Lucy Della, which is going to be a great one-on-one battle.
Oh, great combo.
Yep, hitting that break side.
And she finds it, and she's going to put it. Oh!
McLeod and Tink both underneath it, both with Tan and Robertson with them. Oh, and Tink at the back.
Just sits into her hands, and the Project Lad defenders just jump a little too early on that.
Yeah, well, they had to take front position just because they Tink and was it McLeod there with her. They just both had the separation at that position early, and Robertson and Tan had no choice but to just try and play in front and go early. But they did very well with, I I don't know if they communicated this on the way through. It looked coordinated, where McLeod went up early, but Tink sort of sat at the back just in case it came over the top.
Just the backup option.
Yep. And, Tink just safe as you like.
Yep.
But, yeah, that's, like we were talking about, the Leah Bean wasn't afraid to take that shot.
Oh,
but
definitely not.
That was a brilliant opening cut. She just started challenging Lucy Della on the near side of the field, but then circled round to hit the break side, and Boyle just recognised the move straight away, set up his throw.
And it gave her the power position as well to put out that backhand as well.
So you sort of wonder, I think, if Ballarat will start running with that vertical stack more than the horizontal.
Yeah, potentially just to give that space and separation for those cutters as well, particularly if they're, those sorts of cutters who are also strong throwers, like the likes of Meehan, who are comfortable playing any position on the field.
Yeah, great pull there from O'Hagan. Puts Project Lad about 10 metres in their own end zone, and first pass comes off. Lad running with a horizontal stack of sorts. Deep cut's coming. Lipari's going for Trong.
Dallywell there too.
Great grab.
Oh, great hops there by Trong. That's fantastic put up by Lipari. He had a female mark up on them, and we've seen a couple of teams this tournament just doing gender mismatches or just marking the player directly across them on the line.
Yep. Just marking based on position. Just defenders train themselves to be able to mark up against cutters or receivers or handlers, and just taking the mark based on the position they're playing rather than the one-on-one matchup.
Yeah, it makes sense. And I'm not sure about in other states in Australia, but I know in Victoria there's been a couple of defensive strategies coming about where you'll run a match defense, but you run it based on the position, and you just say, okay, I'm going to take the person who picks up the pull, I'm going to take the dump, I'm going to take break side under, and and if you're doing that mix, obviously you're going to end up, regardless of gender, you just mark the player that's in your position. So potentially that could have been what Ballarat have run there.
Yeah, it's a very common strategy in the single gender format of the sport, and some teams are finding success experimenting with it in the mixed gender version. But Project Lab with the defensive line out now. DeBell with the pull, and that'll land in. That's going to put Ballarat deep in their own end zone. Jones opting to leave it.
Coming in quite bladey there, so probably a safe call to do that.
Tarrant Meehan puts it over the top to cushion. Yeah, they're going back to their horizontal stack.
Bit of a bladey throw there from Tony, but safe in the hands of Lyra Mann.
Yeah, all the cutters coming under towards the disc. McLeod's on her own deep, but just hanging out in the space.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what happens if a deep shot goes up. I think McLeod would have the separation and speed advantage over Bono, but she was very close in that one, surprisingly.
Boyle's found some space. Tony's off. Yeah, everyone's cutting away from Boyle at the moment. He wants someone to come towards him.
Lyra Mann getting into that space.
Good grab from Jones. He's got ball coming to the corner, puts it up. There's 2-on-1, but Cam Lyon gets across.
Oh. It's a bit too far in the corner for me to see, but I wouldn't be surprised if you put a little separation dance on that.
A little bit. But yeah, it was a good cut from Boyle, but I think it was Mickey Bono anticipated the play, come across, took the back position, which just allowed Cameron Lyon just to come charging through the front and pick it off. So Project Lad to start 64 from goal right in the corner. They're gone with the vert stack and immediately work it off the sideline. Bissett to Meehatch. Well, great break throw looking for DeBell, but I wonder if that was to DeBell. Maybe it was going over the top, but Ballarat get a chance, about 15 from goal. Lyra Mann to pick up the disc. He's isolated McLeod. Oh, yeah, DeBell was... DeBell saw that coming a mile away, came across to cut that one off.
I see Meehash is getting rid of the cut deep, but decides to help direct players on the undercuts.
Cushion got very close to that. This is looking for Foster. Foster going up the line. No continuation. She goes over the top to DeBell. What a throw. Oh, DeBell should have just waited for that. I think he just wanted to attack it, but didn't realise he had time.
Yeah. If he gave that a little bit more time, he probably would have had a better grab on it.
Yep.
Man with the disc. Oh, she sends it again. Tony Boyle getting there, but Camline gets her first again. Another D-stat for him.
Yep, the closing speed of Camline's been impressive. He just sort of trails, or just does enough to stay with with his assignment, but then the second the throw goes up, just clicks into another gear and cuts it off. So Project Lad, they haven't had it in close to their end zone yet. The defensive pressure from Ballarat is means they're struggling to get it off this line. They've got Tarrant Meehan just sort of sitting off the back of the stack deep to cut off any of those deep shots, and there we go, undercut.
Great read there from Leah Cushion on that underruption. Just getting a fingertip on it in front of Foster. Tarrant Meehan alone in that handle space at the moment.
Yeah, no reset. Oh, there we go. Cushion comes in.
Struggling to get that dump. Gets it back to Meehan. Finds Tony.
Lab playing great defense here. Very, very tightly matched up. Good bid for Meehan, but I think that was going to drift out of bounds.
Definitely. She's got great closing speed as well. Another one of those players, but again, there's just too much on that going down. Richard Lab with another chance here to get another break. Finds Anderson. Oh, great one-handed grab from her.
No one deep of her though. She'll have to go backwards.
Bissett with the disc. Looking for options. Again, no dump. Puts out into space. Cushion just picks that one up.
Here we go. Boyle's going to shoot to Jones.
Yep. You called it early, but
Yep.
Jones just wasn't ready for that.
I think he was, but because Bissett just tried to go in early to cut that off straight away, Jones had to change his path a bit. But then once it went over Bissett's head, just couldn't recover.
And Project Lab with another chance. Oh, that is a very low disc there. Foster getting on the ground, but no chance.
Ballarat with another chance within 15 from goal, but the project-led defense in this red zone has just been very, very tight. They're not really taking away a side of the field as such, just playing incredibly tight. Losing her footing there.
Tony just punching in to McLeod, but that bobble, her foot most likely over the line, but
Yeah,
she's
I
just
think,
hanging out on the ground.
Players from both teams saying, sorry, Kelly, I think by the time you had control of it, you're out of bounds.
Yeah.
McLeod devastated with that outcome.
Of course.
She desperately wanted that to be a goal. But
And if she had got control on that first touch, that would have been a goal.
Oh, easily, yeah, but just having sustained control of the disc while maintaining contact in bounds. So led to restart and just goes shoots immediately, but Tarrant Meehan will pick that up. Oh, went to catch it, but
Hesitated a little.
just slid it out, but did enough to knock it out of bounds. And Ballarat will have a think about their 8th go.
DeBell almost having a chance to pick up that D though. Meehan overshoots for Cushion, but she still gets it. Resets to Boyle, and I bet he's going to punch this deep. No, he considers his options. Knows he can't underestimate the project-led defence, but overshoots on the dump to Meehan.
And DeBell's gone, he's off. Who's going to shoot it? No one. Fix it up and goes.
No, I think they want to steady. This is, Project Led have been struggling to get this far downfield on the offense, so they probably just want to take it easy. Miash finds Bissett down the line, but there's been a pick called downfield.
Yeah. And there's points tend to drag on. You sort of start to see more pick calls because cutters stop trying to set up their options and just run straight through the stack, straight through traffic. Not by design, of course. It's just they take the straightest line they can.
And great movement here from Project Lab. This is the closest they've got.
Oh, no.
Pop it over the top, but no. McLeod eats that one up.
Too casual by DeBell there.
Yeah.
Saw Bono with a few minutes of separation. Just thought, nice easy one here, but
not enough.
Should have put it probably should have come around for the forehand to put it out further in front of her because Bono had some legs. She was off.
Yeah.
And definitely would have kept that separation, but the throw was in the air long enough for McLeod to catch up.
And Tarrant Meehan sending that one Swirling back in bounds. Oh, Tommy Boyle, what a grab.
Lyra Mann's all on her own in the end zone, but no one's looked there. Oh no, she's had to come back towards the disc now.
Yeah, Tommy Boyle just being very quick to dump that after that grab, probably just to make sure he steadies himself.
And again, the long cuts are coming from Ballarat, but the throwers just hesitating now, given how many turns. Jones doesn't hesitate though, puts it at McLeod, but
goes to her ankles.
Yeah.
Even with her roly-poly, she couldn't get that one.
Yeah, this is a long point.
I'm going to call it now. I reckon there'll be a timeout after this.
You reckon?
Yep.
Oh. Yeah, feelings on midpoint timeout.
Oh, no, not the midpoint timeout.
Oh, after the point.
After the point, yeah.
Yep.
No, I'm not going to come and pull Max Haldon's real pack stats about 80% of the time. Oh, called it.
So I think that's actually quite sensible. I think both teams are not physically fatigued so much, are all fit and able. It's just mental fatigue. It's just that points generally don't go on for this long. I reckon this, without having the clock, I reckon we've gone maybe 8 or 9 minutes.
Yeah, easily creeping up to 10.
Yeah, it's a long time to be out in the field and maintain focus for that long. So it just means that it's not necessarily meaning that they're tired as such, like physically tired, it's just more mentally tired. They're making choices they wouldn't normally make. So calling a timeout now is actually not a bad idea, just to go, you know what, let's just take a breath, reset, recharge a bit, and then get back out there, do what we know best. So neither team will be looking to set up a strategy off this timeout. This is just a straight, let's just take a breather, compose ourselves, have a drink.
Yeah, exactly. And just give themselves just that little bit of break. I'd be interested to see whether Project Lab managed to maintain that possession, though, because they're literally right in front of the end zone, and if they have that turn early, I would not be surprised if Ballarat managed to punch that one in. It's a tricky position to be pulling that time out in.
Yep.
And if we, as I mentioned briefly before, Max Haldon's real fact stats, this is something that we discussed at Under 24 Worlds in Perth in January. It's, I think you were saying 80% of the time, if you call a timeout midpoint, you will lose the disc. You won't get that point.
Yeah. I think what Project Lab will do here, they'll just look to set up their usual vertical stack. Because they've got the disc in centre field, they can attack either side here. I wouldn't be surprised if they just try and attack the near side of the field.
Yep.
They've gone for a horizontal.
Interesting
okay,
look.
righto. And so, of course, they've got to set up first. And then once they're set up, they've got to stay. And then Ballarat can choose to set their defence. And what they'll do, they'll probably have their two handler markers sit out in the lanes a bit just to block off that first pass, force them to go sideways.
Yeah, exactly what you expected. We can see Questions in the lane here.
And there we go.
And force that overthrow to Foster.
Good position by Cushion there.
Definitely.
And so they'll have another go at the end zone. They're going to isolate Jones this time.
Centres to Tarrant Meehan.
Looking only at the end zone. But
high miss there.
Underneath it.
Oh. There's a bit of contact there between Mihash and Meehan.
So I think, and this is quite an unusual one. So by the letter of the law, Mihash did contact me and prevented her from going at the disc. But given where she was, I don't think Mihash really could have done anything to avoid it. They both went up vertically for the disc. It was only because it hung around in the air did Meehan have a second bit at it.
Yeah.
But Mihash didn't move. She was just like, well, I've hit the ground. I'm just trying to. But, they've agreed they're just going to let the turnover stand. Yep. That's probably the right outcome there.
Yeah. I think Mihash couldn't have avoided that.
No. Yeah.
Project Lad now with another chance. Bissett finds Lyon to Mihash, and she wants to send that backhand into the hands.
No,
too far.
Good choice, though, to hit that side.
Definitely, and that way they can set up their defence and hopefully clamp down and get the break here.
Yeah, because all the cuts and consequently all the defenders were coming towards the near side of the field, and so Mihash just shot at the far side of the field, but there's a lot more room, but just shot it too close to the sideline, I think, and it was just too far for DeBell to run down.
Yeah, if it was a slightly different angle on that, it was going towards the end zone, he would have more space to run into that.
That's just a straight territory gain of that one. I don't think... Oh, Boyle did well to make a contest of it. I don't think I don't think Meehan was shooting at anyone in particular. Just sort of knew that the Stockholm would be about 5 or 6, but he knew the options had dried up and just thought, I've just got to go for territory here.
Yeah.
Just sent the big backhand downfield.
And Boyle definitely had that. He just didn't get that grab on it, but he had great jump there.
Tony,
Trying to get that layup bid there on Anderson.
Yeah. And Meehan just peeled off a defender there. She was marking Meehash. Meehash had taken it off deep, but managed to pick that off, and Meehan all on her own.
Just considering her options. Swings around to McLeod.
McLeod just nodding at the end zone, going, why is no one there?
Yeah. We see Tarrant Meehan trying to throw it to Lira. But there was a pick in the stack, but I think it has been retracted.
Yeah, the call be withdrawn given the disc. The pass wasn't completed anyway.
Yeah, and there was no way that Lira Meehan would have got to that even if she hadn't been picked.
So we've gone with a horizontal stack, but Ballarat just sitting deep of all their defenders. It's going to force all the cutters to go under, which not a bad choice. And I think the disc been on the ground a lot. It's going to be wet now.
Yeah, and I think that was just a little bit too slippery and speedy for DePaul to clasp onto.
Here we go, ball to Meehan.
Yep. Let's see what he does. It's an option, but she clears.
Meehan did a great job marking there.
Yeah, fantastic.
Oh, DeBell!
Great read there from DeBell.
Picks it up. Bess is going for it. This is going to go. This is going to go.
Tommy Bissett, no.
Tara Meehan did such a good job there of blocking that off.
Oh.
And Lira Meehan, another block. Tara Meehan unmarked. He's got cushion. Meehan in the end zone. McLeod as well. But chooses to slow it down.
Finds his sister.
Ball getting busy now. Tara Meehan, 2 meters from the end zone now. Here's Tony.
Oh, the hammer!
He's done it. They've scored.
Finally.
DeBell had come off Boyle there to try and cover that front corner, which was smart defense. Because Meehan was about to give that short forehand off, but then spotted Boyle at the back, who had drifted away unmarked, and he made sure of that catch, didn't he? So
definitely
had to bring it right into the body.
I'm actually genuinely surprised this is the first hammer we've seen in this game.
Yeah.
From Ballarat, they do like the hammers, and
yeah.
they're very seasoned to put out all kinds of throws in different conditions, and the still conditions make those hammers a bit more reliable as well.
And that was absolutely the right choice as well. Boyle had realised DeBell had moved into the lane, and so just drifted at the back. He completely unmarked. He would have been 10 metres free of anyone, which is very difficult to do in such a small space in the end zone.
Definitely. But great recognition there.
And the throw that was going to get over the top and to him quickly was that short range hammer. So good choice by me in there. Very, very, very long point there. I reckon we just about ticked over for 17, 18 minutes. And so 4-2 to Project Blade. They still hold the lead, but both teams get entirely fresh sets of legs on. I don't think there's been no players are keen to take the field again after that point.
Understandably so.
Yep.
And we can see that Project Lad have actually put on a couple of players who are yet to play a point so far this game. Bringing out some very fresh legs.
Yep. Ballarat running a zone.
Yep. Probably just trying to see what they can do to continue to slow down. And Robertson just turfs it in her own end zone.
Yeah, just went too far on the pivot for that throw there, I think. Good discipline. She's got a very good discipline throwing action, but just put too much on that one. So thought to play the disc from the goal line.
Very tight stack here in the deep of the end zone.
Meg Graham, go to Meg Graham. Oh, flood stack.
Everyone cuts at the same time.
Oh, he's put it straight through the hands of, I think it's Dan Schwanzer. Oh, the old flood play. Everyone heads one way, one player comes the other way. And it worked. They had the separation, but
just slipped through.
That 5 metre throw is surprisingly difficult.
Yep.
They put the zone back on, forcing Ballarat back into their own end zone. Trong.
Lots of players around the disc here. Finds Medic. And he goes for that hammer.
Yeah, Medic loves going. Throws over the top, but
Tan just can't reel onto that one there. Again, possibly just because of that slippery disc.
Pat Thorpe rushes to it, completely unmarked at the moment. He can throw anything he wants. Tink going wide. He's got options everywhere, but no stall count on, so no time pressure at all. Now someone comes to him, puts the count on. He's got players free at the back, but he just want to put over the top. Oh, he's completely out of options now, but has to go short to Bonnell Hoy. That would have been on stall 8 or 9, I reckon.
Yeah, it was kind of his bailout option there.
Yep. On! Great bid by Lauren Tink.
Fantastic layout read there. It gets right in front of McDonald.
And Ballarat have their third go as a goal line shot, so this time they're going to steady it. Pat Thorpe again, he's marshalling the trips as he walks to the disc. He'll walk it back to the line. As soon as his foot's on the line, disc is in play. Tink one-on-one with McDonald. Can't get free. Now, multiple options come in there. Yep, they've got a pick called. He's got to find Meg Graham out on that far side. She's got the height over Kate Robinson. She can take the disc in the air. Everyone else is very tightly guarded, but that's a matchup he's got to find, I reckon. Meg Graham will find the space.
Yeah.
He just needs to throw. He goes over the top. High release forehand to Tink on the break side.
And the bookends there for Tink. And Ballarat managed to break back.
Yep, 2 in a row. 4-3 now.
Exactly. This is that tightly contested game that we were hoping to see. This is exactly the style of play I was expecting to see. Both teams just putting their all into it.
Yep. That zone from Ballarat, crazy effective.
So effective.
What they did is they had everyone in tight close to the disc, and I think just naturally a natural reaction from the Project Lad players was for all their cutters to come towards the disc, which meant the defenders could come towards it, and everyone just keeps closing in and
just clamping down.
Yeah, everyone was within about 20 metres of the disc on that last play, and so Medic, who very, very skillful with the long overhead throws.
Yeah.
He's looking straight over going, where can I put this? Where can I get this out of trouble? And no one was near him.
Yeah.
Everyone was so close to him, so he didn't have an option. He eventually spotted 10 on that far side, but just overcooked that throw a little bit, and it's hard to throw an overhead to a running target.
Oh, 100%. Now, I saw a very similar zone at Div 2 in Nelson Bay last weekend. I was playing with Heads of State and the Townsvillians. They had two teams up there, and one of their teams, Extra Thick, I do like the name, they had a very tall line, and they put a really clampy zone, and it was super effective.
Yeah, looks like they're definitely going to run it again. Menich gets going to Jacobs.
Hans Menich.
Looks like they're going to be caught on this sideline. They'll need to go around or over the top.
Trong just gets that really small give-go.
Yep, no one near him. This time they're too spread out.
Obviously learnt from their last mistake.
Yep.
But he's considering his options. He's quite a skillful thrower, so he can work it through. Oh, we've seen another hammer. Oh, that is beautifully weighted.
Yep.
But
straight to Thorpe. Thorpe hits Ryan. Look at that.
Oh, beautiful. That is a fantastic read and quick action by Thorpe.
Thorpe was playing at the back of the zone, and he's not necessarily near a player, but he has to remain very aware of where both the offensive wings are. And I think he just had his focus firmly on Lipari. And as soon as he saw Lipari wind up that hammer, he knew it was going to Lucy Della, and he took off before the throw was even out of his hand.
Yep. He was 100% ready for that.
Yep, and ate that up, and it was good by Scott Ryan, who was originally in up the front of the zone. Saw Thorpe was about to reel it in, and he started his cut straight away. The risk of doing that is that the intercept doesn't come off, and then Ryan's caught out of position. But two very calculated gambles from the Ballarat players, and it's paid off.
He trusted his teammate there.
Yep.
He trusted that Thorpe would be able to get that intercept and make a quick action.
Yep. And so 4-all.
We've got a fight on our hands.
Yep. And of course, we're not even halfway to the time cap, but only 8 goals scored for the game. There was that very, very long point that accounted for most of that for about half of that time. But
I think that really long point has made it feel like we're that much further into the game.
Long flat pull from Thorpe. That's going to drift out the back, I think.
Oh.
I could see what he's trying to do. I think he was going to try and put Project Lad back in their own end zone so that zone defense could get down and put early pressure on. But Yeah, overcooked it by about 10 metres.
Yeah, if it hadn't overcooked it, that would just be a beautiful, beautiful put if that just sat.
I mean, if it was a pure just throw it as far as you can comp, that would have been a great entry. But
We have Jacobs finding Middick.
yeah,
Wants that over the top, but opts not to take it.
Lionel Hoy doing a good job of the mark, just cutting off anything to the far side. Mitch does one over the top, but opts to go short, and I think Jacobs was on the move
Wasn't ready for that.
one way, and the throw went the other.
Yeah.
So Ballarat with a chance for another break. Thorpe unmarked, completely unguarded. He can throw what he wants here, but Chong eventually comes in.
The cuts quite aren't coming, and then there's a pick as well.
So again, they're going to try and isolate someone. It's difficult to pull off an end zone ISO when you're still about 18 metres from the end zone, but Tink on her own. No, Dhaliwal
eats that one up.
Yep, I had that from the get-go. This throw was just too soft.
Yeah,
just needs to bullet it in if Tink's got that separation, because Dhaliwal, excellent defender. If you give her half a sniff, she'll throw herself at it. And so Ballarat with his own again. Good breakthrough.
Oh, fantastic read through. Jacobs now trapped on the sideline.
They've got to work it to the far side.
Oh.
Great swing throw.
Great one. Dallowell getting horizontal to make sure she maintains that.
Yep.
Finds the flick over, trying to get in the hands of Tan. Waits it nicely.
Lucy Della has about 20 metres free in the end zone.
Oh, she is in a paddock of space.
But everyone's a bit cautious after that first shot to her earlier.
I saw Pat Thorpe just directing Meg Graham into that space.
Another block from Thorpe.
He's been playing excellent defence here. Ballarat, another chance to crack it here.
How many deep cuts coming? Here we go. Tink's off. Cox is free. They're very spread out, the Ballarat attack here. There's plenty of room, but
Jones and Thorpe just work it between each other. Fine cushion on the undercut. She looks off Graham. Swings around to Jones.
Yep, cuts are dried up at the stack now. They all just want to get to the end zone.
Oh, and Thorpe puts it out, but Lucy Della makes sure of it and says, "Not on my watch."
Yep. Yeah, I think just because there weren't too many cutting options coming from the stack, the handlers just decided, all right, next one we see is just going, and so Meg Graham providing that deep option, and probably wasn't the best option to throw to, but I think the handlers thought, well, don't know when the next option is going to come, so they're just going to take this one.
Exactly, just gamble the odds. And with having Della on her, though, that's a great mark. I think if we'd had say, for example, Tan, who just has that height mismatch, then might be a different story.
The Ballarat zone, they're going to contain them to the far sideline now. Chong goes fine. If you're going to do that, I'm going to put it up over the top. Pat Thorpe again, third block.
Just getting up over the Dhaliwal there.
Yep.
She elects to continue marking him. Finds Tink. She's looking for that dump reset option. And overthrows that one there.
Come off Thorpe's hand. Had she have reeled that in, that would have been a completion.
That would have been an incredible play.
Yeah.
Chong finds Tan. She considers her option. Gets back to Chong again.
Chong's very good at finding space among zones.
He is.
Yeah.
Della swings it right over the other side to Jacobs. Medic. He wants to pop it over. Lucy Della in a paddock of space, but opts for that really short hammer there to Chong.
Thorpe has instructed his two wings to play in incredibly close to the disc. So Ballarat have 6 players within about 15 metres of the disc.
Finds Lipari though. Trong. Oh, he's got Dhaliwal in a paddock of space.
Had to force the defenders to make a choice there, and there was no way Thorpe could cover both. He was opting to sort of drop back and cover Dhaliwal there, but wanted to really make sure of that throw. And after conceding last 3 in a row, Project Lad score 1, back in the lead.
Yep. But a game is going to be hotly contested, and another one of the teams is going to have to get a break here just to get some separation from the other.
Yep. Yeah, Ballarat's zone very, very effective at that point. Got them quite a number of opportunities very close to their end zone. But the Project Lads red zone defense is just red hot. They usually what teams will do is they'll try and give up. They'll try and just defend one side of the field and give up the other. But Lad don't even do that. They're just going to go tight match up defense. Just back them to win every one-on-one contest, and it just means that the throwers don't have as many options available, and the cutters need to work extra hard to pick one side or the other. And it just means that offenses aren't as tidy as they normally would be.
No. I think this has become a game of defense.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I think defense is definitely Project Lad's strength.
Yep.
And the same could be said for Ballarat zone as well.
Yep.
In terms of Victorian mixed teams, they have an excellent zone.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if... So Tom Ball's playing up field. Paul lands in bounds but slides out, so McLeod will bring it up to the front corner. Boyle-McDonald matchup. Look at that.
Oh, beautiful.
Christopherson reels that in. And Boyle's off. Nut has to come back under.
Hines McLeod. Just considering options, but puts a very low throw there to Boyle. Managed to reel that one in, but he's trapped in that sideline. Very tough mark there from McDonald.
Yep, all his cutters have gone deep. A couple of them are coming under now.
Oh, just not enough float on that for Mian.
Yep.
Goes into the hands of Mihash. Finds McDonald. Mihash playing her safe options. Looking for a dump option for Bissett. Gets the reset there from Lipari. Some good offensive movement here from Project Lad. Utilising their dump and swing effectively. Oh, interesting pass option there from Lipari, but finds Bissett just a couple metres out of the end zone. Really wants to reset that to Mihash, but she gets the position on that over Mihan. She just punches that one in just to Bissett.
Yep. Crucial break there for Project Lad.
This is exactly what they needed.
Yeah, that was excellent control of the play by Lipari there. Just he didn't set up like a traditional reset, even with the disc. He set himself up from inside the end zone, but just every time I reckon he was probably listening to the stall count. Every time he heard 4 or 5, he just
Boss it back.
Yeah, he just make that one line cut just out to this near side and just get the easy reset, and then just look to move it off straight away. Didn't want to hang on to it and have a shot at the end zone.
No.
Just get the disc in his hands, back to a handler just to reset that stall count. Yeah, very, very smart and patient play by him. Had a lot to do with giving Project Lad the number of opportunities they had at that goal.
Definitely.
And interesting on Ballarat's offense, every time Boyle gets it, you see all 4 cutters just immediately head deep. It's
it's like, give him some unders,
yeah,
goddammit.
some good pattern recognition there. He definitely needs someone to at least offer, maybe even if it's on the far side of the field, to the opposite side of the field to his own, just to provide something towards him. Because I don't think he's quite sort of feeling his long throws just yet. Early in the day, but he'll feel this pull. That's going to land inbounds. Ryan is off. He has just taken off, but had separation. But there we go. Ball wasn't prepared, but swings it across to McLeod.
That's a low throw down there.
Great work rate by Ryan. He's already covered about 150 metres at this point.
Swings it around to Mihan. And she pulls out the backhand. Oh, that's beautiful. And that's going to sit right for Boyle.
Great throw.
Fantastic throw. That is just clean clinical offense there from Ballarat, and just utilising their players' strengths really well.
Yeah, man put enough of that throw up and over, and the bell was just caught underneath it, and he realised pretty quickly, yep, I can't make a bit of that involves me not landing on my shoulder, so just decided to leave it. Yep. Know when you're beaten.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of throws this weekend. People not afraid to just put the disc high and throw it over the top of the stack.
Yeah.
interesting way to hit the break side, the side not being defended, is just to go over the top and curve it into that space. Typically, something you wouldn't really teach your new players.
No.
But once you've been throwing for as long as the likes of me and Boyle have, and you've got enough control on those throws to be able to do that and hit those angles.
Yeah, definitely. And you've also got to make sure you've got the right receiver for it as well, and making sure that they recognise that throw and understand how to cut into the space for it.
Yeah, and just be able to predict where the disc is going is straight out of the hand. It's a learned skill to be able to pick the angle and velocity of the disc within about a quarter of a second.
Nice pull there, caught by Robertson.
Yeah, Ballarat set their zone again.
Robertson, Lipari working that. No surprises seeing Lipari in this offensive group as he works so well.
So close. Ballarat content just giving up those sideways passes.
They find one through the option there, but it was just too bullety for McDonald to hold on to.
Yeah. So Thorpe to restart about 25 from goal. They're calling a set play, so they're going to isolate someone. Who is it? No one. Everyone cuts at once.
Just spread out like a star.
Yeah. Once it takes a lot of the stall count. Doesn't have any and stall out. Yep.
Yeah.
Just didn't have time. Didn't leave himself enough time to get rid of it. Jacobs restarts quickly. Thorpe v Trong.
Oh.
Both of them miss it and just drifts to ground.
Yeah, Thorpe just jumping a little early there and throwing up Trong. But gathering back some territory.
Yep.
Thorpe considers his options.
No cuts happening. Cox finally goes
Nothing
up the
he likes,
line.
at least. Cox looking to centre. Finds a crossfield flick. That's just way too difficult there for Christian to reel in.
Yep.
Came in a bit too bladey.
Yeah, I think he just sort of had decided he wanted it to be in the middle of the field. Cuts be damned. And tried to direct the throw there. Medic all on his own in the end zone. No one near him. Thorpe eventually goes to him. But Trong shoots at him now. But that was Medic was not ready for that one.
No.
Yeah, had that pass. That throw would come out like maybe 2 seconds earlier. That would have been just straight into Medic's lap with no pressure at all. But he was starting to move back to the stack because the defender had come to him, and Chong's put the shot up. And he's like, "Oh God!"
The recognition just wasn't there early enough.
Yeah. So Ballarat setting up the horizontal. They've gone to a horizontal stack now. But Thorpe taking his time, walking in, giving his cutters a lot of time to rest. 2 deep cutters off. Schweinzer and Tink. 2-on-2 here. McDonald underneath it. Schweinzer goes early.
Tink's a good backup again.
Yep, Tink reads the tap. Good roving. Looking backwards, just wants to dish it off and keep running. There she goes. Finds I think it's Cunningham there, but again, it's very hard to hit a 3-metre throw.
Oh.
It doesn't. Not something that makes sense on the face of it, but
no.
Trong, big wide backhand, Lipari all alone.
Beautiful. Oh, great little roly-poly to get on the ground and straight to Daliwal.
Daliwal was called for the disc before Lipari even had it. Right, like, just let me catch it first. And
she wants it. She wants those stats.
That was. I think we're going to see more of that from Project Blade, just to pick it up and go. They look their best. They look their best during the more chaotic offense. I think too often they're taking their time setting up a set play and trying to get it moving like that, which is good discipline, good to have that structure. But sometimes you just got to put that to the side and just go back to doing what's more fun.
Yeah, exactly.
What your team enjoys.
And they're young and athletic, and they enjoy that fast-paced alternate. And I think that's definitely their strength. And there is times for that discipline. I think we saw that with Mihash and Lipari earlier as well.
Yep.
But at the same time, like just getting that really quick, fast movement, they eat that up.
Yep. So Lab with last 2 goals there.
And they'll probably
Sorry,
be wanting
last goal there. So if they score this one, they'll take it into half, and then we'll be probably inside 20 minutes to play after that. So crucial points. Then Ballarat will need to hang on to this goal I need to hold this goal, score this goal, just to keep in touch, ensure Project Lad don't put too much of a gap on the scoreboard in between them. There's too much on that upline throw.
Yeah, overthrows that one.
Yeah. So if Lad can score this one, they'll take a 3-goal lead in the half, and then they'll start on offense after the halftime break.
Finds Della on that near side, far sideline. Really.
Again, not many cuts happening from the stack.
No. Donald has Mihash on that break side, but opts to go for Della on the open. Great hands there from Lyon. Getting that throw under pressure. O'Hagan just switching up his mark a bit confusing, but gets the Foster. Oh, swirly throw. Bissett gets it though. And they're on the doorstep now. Bell opts to take his time, find a safe option. Della, centimetres from the end zone.
Yep.
Floats it out. Cam Lyon grabs it. And Project Ladder honking and belling and celebrating.
They definitely look best when the disc is moving. A static disc, Ballarat can set up and switch defenders off and play very smart defense. When the disc is moving, impossible to do.
Exactly. That's where they're strongest defensively.
Yep. And so Project Lad take the lead going into halftime. I'm going to take a break for a couple of minutes. We'll be back with the second half.
See you soon.
If we're ever in a situation where we're not rolling out a certain sort of cultural circus, then we're not doing our job properly.
And welcome back for the second half of the first game of day 2 of the Australian Mixed Ultimate Championships from Marty Bush Reserve in Sebastopol, just outside Ballarat. Simon Tolbert here with Katie Locke.
G'day, g'day. And yeah, it has been a cracker of a game so far. With Project Lad getting a couple of breaks and taking half 8-5.
Yeah, offense a little bit more conservative than we were expecting from the two teams, but we think it's just because for the first game of the day, both teams are still waking up, easing into it.
Yeah, they're really steadying themselves, and we're also saying that Project Lad look best offensively when they not pace themselves. The opposite of that, go fast, play fast.
Yeah, play with instinct. First ball goes up, that's going to land inbounds.
Jacobs centres to McDonald, who finds Mihash.
Ballarat running their zone again.
High throw there for Jacobs. Attempts to greatest, but
Yep.
no chance there. It's just too much high float on that for him to reel in. Ballarat with a chance to get another one on the scoreboard and recover from that deficit.
Yep. This is about 20 metres from the end zone, but the stack's setting up in the end zone, so I wonder if they're trying to isolate Tony here in the middle of the field.
Perhaps.
No, Boyle looking over at the end zone, looks at Tony now. Tony just going up the wide and, yep, takes advantage of that space, has to go.
Goes for the hammer into the stack. Oh, Stacey Shabat almost picking that one up.
Yep.
But
that was a high stall count. That took... Boyle looked at upfield, I think, for a bit too long there and just had to let go of it and stall later, saw 9.
The Hail Mary hammer.
Targeted it well, like he threw it to where the players were. But
don't think they were expecting it. Oh.
Great grab.
Fantastic grab there from Bissett. Manages to tow it in. Over the top to Lipari. Again, Project Lad having that fast movement here. Lipari and Daliwal. Looks for that reset. Finds McDonald. They'll want to keep moving and punch this one in. Puts it over the top to Dalla. 5 metres less from the end zone. Gets that really short, sharp pass from Bissett. Manages to balance himself. Punch that one through then to McDonald. So close.
Yep. Full credit for that point has to go to Tom Bissett. That towing the line grab, very, very difficult to pull off.
Oh, crazy difficult.
Yep, and it was a high risk throw, like throwing... Had about a metre, not even that, half a metre window to throw to and missed the window, but Bissett kept it alive, just keeping his toe inbounds, completing the catch, and then that throw through the cup in the middle there just completely opened up the end zone for them.
Yeah, fantastic work there from Bissett.
Yep, 2 fantastic plays in a row.
Yeah, he's really come into himself the last couple of years, and you know, started playing Ultimate as a teenager and a world's rep for Australia, and no. Not a world's rep for Australia. He could be a world's rep for Australia. Who knows?
Yeah.
But he's been playing since he's quite young, and he is one of the lifelines of this Project Lad team, and in terms of your social and personality.
Yeah.
One of the masterminds behind their Facebook page.
Yeah. So Project Lad, they've got a So they got that 4-goal lead we talked about before half now. Ballarat had a chance to had one chance to bring it in to make it 8-6. But yeah, that lead's blown out now. All right, setting up their vertical stack. It's a very, very deep stack, about 25 metres away from the disc. But Thorpe finds Boyle.
He's playing relatively conservatively.
Puts it up to me and
until now, and
Anderson make a goal of it. It's forcing me to catch it outside the end zone. Man looking away from the end zone, wanting to just reset the disc to a thrower. Has to look upfield. No one's open, and cushion keeps her foot in bounds.
Oh! Surprise goal there.
Just looking around, going, "Is that a goal?" And Cushion's going, "Yep, I was in."
Oh. Yes, she must have had her planting foot.
Yep.
And then just ran that one out.
Yep.
Get lots of high fives and hugs between the team there. I think Meehan was, an ellipsis teammate with Ruby Anderson, and probably, congratulating her on a great defensive bid.
Yep. And Meehan would have loved to sort of milk that to the end zone, but Anderson had to go up and contest it, which forced Meehan to go up early, which at least stopped it from being an immediate goal and held them up a little bit. So smart defence there from Anderson. Probably the first effective long throw we've seen from Boyle.
Yeah.
Definitely some connection we saw yesterday in a few of their games is that Boyle to Meehan shot like Lyra Meehan's speed over 50 metres or so.
Yeah.
Probably
Fantastic.
one of the top of the tournament, and Boyle just got such a casual action on that flick, so there's not a big wind-up behind it, so you can't sort of really see it coming as a defender, thinking, there's a wind-up, here it goes. It's just simple motion, just stepping out and all wrist power.
Yeah. Boyle being a funder rep for Australia, captaining their under-20 team, and he's been playing for a number of years here in Ballarat. That pole coming towards us.
Oh boy, that's gone. Is that going to come back in? That's going to land in.
What a great pull there from Thorpe. You doubted it, but I had faith.
Those ones. Ballarat with their zone again, playing very aggressively. Lipari and Trong both playing in close through the centre field. If they can get it to one of them, they'll look to immediately hit the other, I reckon.
Yep. Jacobs, Medic and Robertson working through this zone here, just swinging it side to side until they find an option they like. Oh, and Jacobs puts that hammer to Della. She's open the Paticus face, bobbles it a bit, just can't reel it in.
She took her eyes off it just to see where her feet were. I think that's why. I think that's why she fumbled it a couple of times. I think she was in bounds. If not, it was very close.
Bit hard for us to see from this perspective,
but she had to play wide just to at least make it difficult for Thorpe, and Jacobs spotted that up. Here we go, Pat Thorpe to Brandon Bonnell-Hoy, but throw falls short right into Jacob's lap.
Jacob finds Lipari as a quick reset. He's going to swing around to Robertson. She has Della on that wing. Opts not to take it though. Looks like this project-led team is sort of swinging through and utilising different positions. Finds Tan. Puts that under space for Lipari. Oh, great down the line shot for Jacobs. He steadies it though. Lipari not quite in. On the doorstep.
Tan's open.
Oh, not anymore. So,
yep.
Just the Trong.
Fine strong, but I think that cut from Tan heading to that back corner was great because she blasted past so many Ballarat defenders staying still, and so they all had to. I think I saw about 4 move that way just to sort of go, she's going, and then Trong just was completely on his own in the centre.
It's just a little sneaky option there.
So 10-6 to Lad now.
They're finding that separation. They'll be happy with themselves.
Yep. But you can never write off any team at this tournament. It's a very, very even tournament.
Definitely not. There's been so many Universe Point games and comebacks, and that's exactly the calibre of Ultimate you want to see. You want to see those closely contended games, and it shows that if every single team here is in contention.
Yep. In
one way or another.
So I've already seen some close games among these teams. Project Lad went down to Monstars in sudden death yesterday, 11-10. Also challenged Crank, who are undefeated in the pool currently. They only lost to them 11-7. So the difference between the top and the bottom of this pool, only a couple of points in it.
Exactly. And it's the sort of thing, if Project Lad come into this game with a win, then they might take that into their next game with momentum.
Yep. So they're both still looking for their first win, but you'd want the confidence of getting that first win can be enough to sort of put that monkey off the back and make you play with a bit less pressure on yourself.
Ballarat also challenging Crank 11-13. So,
Yep.
like I said, it's the top and bottom are not really that far apart.
Yeah. They're coming out with a zone of their own.
Looks like a 2-3-2.
Yeah, 2 up front, 3 in the middle. So they play very, very loose and just sort of protect the middle of the field. Man just goes, fine, I'll just do
Shoot it to
Boyle.
Boyle.
Good safe defence there from Josh DeBell. Kept his eye on the disc, but also was well aware of where Boyle was and just had to go up early to avoid just colliding with Boyle.
Yep.
And something we've seen very much on the live stream, there's been no reckless bids or reckless defence at all. Everyone playing good, hard, competitive, but safe ultimate. No one wants to dislocate their shoulder.
Yeah, that's really good to see. And I wasn't here physically yesterday, but I did have a little bit of a nosy through the Spirit scores, and it seems like the Spirit has been above average consistently, and that's great to see. And yeah, like it also a lot of teams scoring above average in fouls and body contact as well, which is when you're doing your Spirit scores, you've got to have continue conscious efforts from the other team to avoid body contact, and I think that's obviously been on demonstration this weekend. And it's great to see.
Yep.
Something that Ultimate Australia is trying to do with these national events is really trying to empower the Spirit captains to have those conversations and make sure that they discuss any Spirit issues as soon as anything arises, rather than just being at the end of the game being sour. Oh, they were too physical. Making sure that it's a two-sided conversation and we all have fun and have conversations and ensure that the sport's the best it can be.
Yep. But just going back to their match defence now, and kept it very tight and it's effective. I think Lad were ready for a zone again, but then their cutters were not set up for a match defence, and it left Robertson having to take a very tight option to McDonald. That would have been her last throw before she would have had to do a Hail Mary. So
Yeah.
but with more, another red zone opportunity. High release flick to Tony on the break side. There you go. That's a connection he's been looking for all game and finally gets to hit it.
Yeah. A nice, easy, safe throw as well. And even with a tough defender like Dhaliwal on her, she probably wasn't expecting that break side option to come off.
Yeah, it basically came through a blind spot over her left shoulder where she wasn't checking. And typically you rely on your sideline or a teammate to tell you that the throw's coming, but unfortunately she had no one near her to, to give her that audio cue. But it's a very, very small window to throw through.
Oh, 100%.
Has to be accurate, but Pat Thorpe has practiced those repeatedly.
Yeah, he's a very practiced thrower.
And he's staying on the field. He's played a lot of the points for this team.
He has, considering they've got quite a sizable roster. They probably realise that this is a very key point for them, and they really need to put on a strong team. And some of their rookie players have been rested a bit in this game, I think, just probably to give them fresh legs for the games that they're less likely to win.
The clock's definitely working against them. We're about 12-13 minutes from time cap. Now, of course, Project Lad do have to score the last goal to win, but you still want to be within. You don't want to leave yourself having to score 4 in a row to win the game.
Oh, no, it's too much pressure. It's 100% possible, but you've really got to get a lot of momentum to get that D run happening.
Yeah, so defensive conversion now on next point would keep a minute, but I think if Project Lad are able to put this one in, they've got a horizontal setup, Lapari and Trong to work together in the middle. They're both sitting pretty far apart, but Tan's gone straight to the end zone.
Yep, she's on her bike.
Yep.
Trying to provide another deep option, but then comes back under.
Yep.
That reset. Finds Jacobs. Oh, he looks straight to Tan.
Fantastic play. Just couldn't complete it.
It was great. It was just, you could see it as it bounced off her hands. It was a very speedy disc, and she would have needed, even with the clap catch, struggled to get that one.
Felt very much like a set play that Tan took off, and then it meant they just isolated one of their mid cutters to give them plenty of space to work in. But yeah. So thought to restart. Ballarat with a vertical stack.
Tries to find.
Yeah, McLeod
sends it.
She's got 2 defenders on her, but Yeah, Lipari saw that wind up coming a mile off and
Yeah.
peeled off the back of the stack, so. It gives them good field position to defend from, so
Definitely. Lad are going to have to work this one the whole way up.
McDonald to start with this, so they've got the horizontal stack again. I don't think Tan will go deep immediately off this one. I'll probably look for a different kind of set. I think Trong will try and hit that side, yep.
So Jacobs trying to centre it again. Finds Trong, overshoots it a bit, but a couple of different hands.
Yeah, comes off everyone there. But
had Cox had a hand on it, McDonald had a hand on it. Everyone was getting in there.
Thought it's Prinsloo who did very well to get up in there. Sends the big bomb of a forehand up looking for McLeod. I think McLeod was on her way to come towards the disc. Didn't expect the shot to come up. Had to change direction.
Yeah.
Jeez, we had a GPS on McLeod today. She has covered some territory. Yeah.
Yeah, very, very athletic player, great receiver.
Ballarat, a few defenders peeling off their players to put some pressure on the disc while it's on the sideline. But yeah, Robertson just hits the free open player with a big swing pass.
Huge swing there, but puts them very deep in their end zone.
Can only go forward from here. There's no room behind them.
Exactly. Oh, and Trong puts it out.
Yep.
Toes in there.
I thought that was gone. The party did very well to
great read on that. Gets it out of the end zone now to Trong, but still trapped on that sideline. Cox doesn't want to give him the round, but great read there. Again, Lady Lahari. The great connection between those two guys.
I have no idea how that space opened up for Lipari. Everyone's coming towards the disc, and all of a sudden he's run away from it, and the sea's parted.
Just find that space. Trong puts it out to centre. Again, Lipari and Trong just working together. Oh, great over the throw top.
Yep, excellent throw by Lipari.
Yeah. Yeah, that separation there, and Project Lad are just continuing to get ahead.
5-goal lead now, 12-7. Yeah, I think that's a bit of a heartbreaker for Ballarat, that one. I think that well out of their reach now, but now you'd be talking to your team and just want to have a bit of momentum going into the next game. It's not that you just stop trying or roll over.
Yep.
You just acknowledge the game's probably beyond your reach, but you still want to play good, strong ultimate.
Yeah.
Given that you're probably going to have a game to back up to very shortly.
Yep. Less than 10 minutes till time cap now, but again, more than 10 minutes left of the game with the soft cap rule.
So when the clock gets to 80 minutes, they'll complete the point that's underway, and then the score target gets reduced if neither team is at 15. So still a chance Lake could make it to 15. I think they had a quick couple, but I think this game will go the distance. I think we'll hit time cap. And we'll see what the new score target is after that.
Yeah, possibly game to 14 instead of 15.
Yep.
With Project Lad being on 12, they could go to 15 still. There's a big wind up on that pool, but it's going to sail out. Yep. Caught by the game advisor there on the far side.
Good catch. So Ballarat to start with it is centre field with 20-metre advantage. Project Lad running a zone, typical 3-3-1 zone here. They're going to get him over to that far sideline and then just try and trap him there. So they'll give up those sideways movement. Man taking that option as a last resort.
But finding man on that far side. Jones, great read through to Larry Mann. Just sneaks it through. She takes her time, considers her options, but finds Jones. Swings it back across to her. Oh, fantastic throw. That low release just allowing it to come up to the right height for her to run onto.
Yeah. Jones likes playing on that sort of pressured sideline. He's very good at finding gaps in among sort of 3 or 4 defenders and just sliding those quick passes through. So he's got no issue playing on that side. There we go. Bounces it off the sideline straight away. Got to keep coming to this side, man.
Yeah.
McLeod all on her own screaming for it.
Yeah. If man just been a little bit quicker on that movement, could have got over, but opts for the scuba instead.
And there we go. Big swing to Jones, forcing the cup to run another 25 metres. Jones, big hammer over the top for Ryan. Yep, well played.
That is a tasty hammer.
That was great zone offence from Ballarat then.
Yeah. Finding that good mixture between patient movement, 100% options, but also doing the give goes when they're on.
Yep. So against the zone defense, you don't want the defense to be static. You want to keep them on the move. So you want to swing the disc back and forth from the near side of the field to the far side, which is why you sort of heard McLeod screaming for it. Just keep the disc moving. You've got to keep the defenders moving.
Yeah, because giving it to her, and then she immediately swings it back, but it just tires out those defenders, opens up the gaps, and gives you the option to take it downfield.
Yeah, the gaps open up for offensive cutters while the defenders are moving, and that's why Ryan was able to just sort of find that space just in that near corner of the end zone
and camp there.
Yeah, and Jones just pinpoint with a hammer, and I reckon Jones had that lined up about 3 seconds before he got the desk. He thought, as soon as I catch this,
it's going over.
There's Ryan.
Yeah.
So Ballarat kept the scoreboard ticking over, just letting Project Lad know they're not done. They're not just gonna hand them this win. They still need to earn it.
Yep. No easy games in this tournament.
No. Thought with a great pull. That's going to be difficult to catch. So Medic's just going to let that hit the ground. Is that going to roll out? Yep. So Medical gets to walk it up to the line. Start 64 from goal, and Ballarat going back to their zone. Got 4 around the disc.
Looks like they're running the Pommy zone.
Yep. Their wings will push right in, and Thorpe's just going to patrol about 70% of the field. And he's on, what happened there? It was
just a cold drop from Dhaliwal, I think.
Oh yeah, just on a short pass there. Yep. So Thorpe's going to call out someone to isolate. Look like it's going to be Schweinzer. Schweinzer on Lipari, I think. I think Lipari will get the better of this battle. Yep, forcing Schweinzer outside the end zone. Just wants to throw a goal, only looking forward, and finds Pat Thorpe on the inside. I think Trong overcommitted on the open side there, thinking Schweinzer might not have that inside break. But
yep, he surprised him.
Yep. 2 quick goals in a row from Ballarat.
Yeah.
Keeps it interesting. But
definitely giving them a bit of momentum back, and if they use that to power them up, then they're not going down without a fight.
Yeah, that's it. So it's definitely lifted their spirits. Their energy's up and about now. 10 minutes ago they were a little bit flat, but
and now it's looking quite the opposite. Project Ladder looking a little bit flatter than they had been when they took half.
They're still quite relaxed. They don't seem worried, but there's another quick turn like that, another quick turn and goal that I think will force them to wake up and finish this game off properly with full intent.
Yeah.
As time cap approaches. The game advisor is blowing the whistle there to signal that time's up for discussion and get the play going. Of course, it's still up to the players to enforce those rules if they want. Typically, teams don't really enforce it unless the team's being particularly making a conscious effort to delay the game. But Bissett really controlling this offense.
Yeah, great movement there between Bissett, Robertson, Dhaliwal.
They look best while they're moving. They look best while the disc is moving quickly.
Sam Jacobs finding the backhand, getting to Bissett. Oh!
Had to get up and just got fingertips to it, but couldn't control it on the way down.
Thorpe inspecting the disc. It looks like they're maybe
I
better.
think Bissett might have stood on it.
Yeah.
Not many cuts happening from the stack. Oh, Prinsley. Oh, yep. No, that was
picks for days.
Yeah, Prinsley had his cut very close to the stack. Was moving at a fair bit of speed, and I think it was Donald Hoy. Didn't see him coming, but everyone had to pull out to avoid that collision with me, and has Tink going deep, but has to go backwards to Thorpe.
And he winds up, but
he wants a deep shot to get it moving. Prinsley. Plenty of cuts coming towards him. Not many going away from him. Hasn't got a lot of room or time to work with. Has to go over the top to Thorpe.
They're stalled.
Yeah, been stalled out. Ran out of time.
Yeah.
Great marking by Trong there. Just took away every option available.
Exactly.
But I think all the cuts just came far too close to him. And,
definitely. Perhaps just because Prinsloo is a relatively newer player. You know, the classic crowding of the rookie.
Yep.
McDonald finding Jacobs. Great mark there, but finds that inside option of Trong. Oh, Dhaliwal in a paddock of space.
Yep.
She peeled away really nicely from Tony there.
And Trong finds himself another assist.
Getting all the stats.
And it's 13-9 to Project Lad, 4-goal advantage.
Less than 2 minutes till time.
Yep. So dare say that time cap, by the time the team starts 60 seconds to work into this point, I dare say time cap will go during this point. And so this point will get played out regardless, and then the score cap will get adjusted from there. So
If Project Lad score this one, then it'll be game 15 as usual.
if Ballarat score, then it'll be 10-13 with the game to 14. So Ballarat looking like they need to score at least 5 or 6 in a row to take the game out, which
Not impossible, but
not
very
impossible,
difficult.
very unlikely. But
Yep.
they have played very well. I think just that slow start has come back to haunt them when they let Lad get 3 breaks to start the game immediately, and they called a timeout after conceding 3 in a row and recomposed themselves and started playing good proper ultimate from there. But they've just been having to play catch up this entire game.
They did manage to level the scores briefly, but not long enough.
Yep. Shorter pull. Don't start 45 from goal.
Man finds McLeod.
Boyle back in the field, playing downfield with McDonald on him.
Running a horizontal option there.
I thought the circle of death cut.
Oh, and he finds that long option down to Cushion. The honey pass, almost a goal.
Not quite in bounds. Oh no! She's gone for the easy push pass, and Mihatch saw her coming a mile off and put both hands in the way. Got it.
Very easy D.
Yeah, very clean hand block. Just a bit too casual there from Cushion. Not many upfield cuts happening for Lipari here, so he's got to go back to an under. Oh, Foster with a great catch under pressure.
Oh, Meehan just runs through that from Bona.
Yeah, that was great defense by Ballarat to take away every option available to them and forcing the throw to a contested situation.
The disc is turned and Project Lad have another chance here. Take another break.
Lipari's off, Cameron Lyons off. That's gone.
He's on his bike. Great closing speed. Oh, goes for a tumble.
No. First contact with the ground was outside the end zone, so he's got to play it from there.
There's been a travel call.
Travel called on the throw from Lipari. So,
this will go back.
Yeah, so the call was that Lipari either... So the ruling is you're allowed to take a few steps when you catch a disc on the run, but you've got to be making an effort to slow down before you throw it.
Yeah.
And either that or he's just dragged his pivot foot, which can happen if you're throwing with momentum.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, Christopherson saying you definitely got an advantage from doing that, so we're going to call it back. So players just having to reset to where they were when the throw happens. So we're trying to rewind in their memories and work that out.
Undoing all that great running from Lyon to run that one down, but resets to Foster. Finds Mihash.
Yeah, not many cuts happening. I think everyone's just waiting for someone to get that power position. Oh, straight into...
Great hand block there from Christopherson. Bouncing it to Cushion's hands as well.
Good heads-up defense from Cushion there. She knew that throw was coming. Oh.
Very aggressive yelling from Meehan.
And finds Boyle at the back. No, I'm backing Meehan at that. That was it's. We see this happen a lot in mixed, not so much men's or women's, but the reset is playing very, very close to the thrower.
Yeah.
And an experienced thrower like me, and it's like we talked about before, it's very difficult to hit an effective 3 or 4 metre throw.
Exactly.
By the time you've got to wind up, worry about the defence. And so man was telling Thought, no, you're too close, you've got to get out of here.
Yeah.
And,
she's a very skilled thrower and she will break a mark. So you need to give her the space to get that wind up and put a good throw out.
Yep. And in the end, it burned up the stall count, so she just had to punt it along. But Boyle, I think Boyle was sort of thinking, this is a high stall count, I'm going to start drifting back here.
Yep. He was ready. He knew she's got the throws on her.
And there was a good controlled, for a Hail Mary, it was a good controlled shot, like it kept it in bounds. And so it's 13-10 to Lad, and this will be game to 14. So Lad need to score one more goal to confirm the win. as signalled by the game advisors. Otherwise, Ballarat need to go 4 in a row.
Again,
It all starts with this rundown.
not impossible, but difficult.
Yep. They're going to set their zone. They're just going to let them move the disc to that far sideline.
Oh, and just that little bit too low there for McDonald.
Mm-hmm.
Ballarat have another chance to break.
Yep, so who they're going to isolate, they're going to have Pat Thorpe pick up the disc. He's about 12 from goal. Not isolating anyone. They'll call a set play here.
Trying to get to Tony as the first option.
He's going to come wide. Who's there? Schweinzer keeps the foot inbounds. Yep, goal.
Great read on that by Schweinzer. And Pat Thorpe just putting that into space, so really anybody could have cut to that side, the stack, and ran onto it. It's just about who got there first and who got the separation from the defender.
Yep. Excellent field awareness there by Schweinzer there, just to make sure he controlled the disc as his back foot was down, meaning it was a goal. So, gradually a quarter timeout. There are coaches Josh Pereira and Rainbow Apostle just thinking, let's just call it, take a breath.
Steady.
Again, there won't be many technical discussions here. It'll just be a case of let's just compose ourselves. We've got the timeout. Let's use it.
Yeah. Just giving some song and dance to lift the energy.
So 13-11 to Ladd with the game to 14. So they just need to hold an offensive point. They're going to, any points that get played, they're going to be receiving the disc.
Yeah.
They have plenty of chances on offense. They just need to finish it off. Ballarat, do you think they'll stick with their zone? I think they will.
So.
Yep.
I think so. I think that they're most effective defensively with that zone. It's
getting them results. It's getting them. The only times Project Lad have been able to break with their zone is with high risk, high percentage throws.
Yeah.
As we've seen them like shoot down the line to narrow windows or throw over the top. You know what, Katie?
Yep.
We've been keeping the
scores
score
incorrect.
So just to explain at home, usually we've got a monitor here that shows us what you're seeing at home, but it's not working at the moment. And I've been keeping track of the score manually.
And you've done it wrong.
As often happens in Ultimate.
And I trusted you. I trusted you, Simon.
We've had the score wrong the entire time.
Oh, so, that's embarrassing.
So everyone's been watching at home going, well, why are you saying it's a 4-goal margin? It's not.
Oh, so probably think we're complete idiots.
Yeah, so we just had one of the production crew just poke their head out and say, you've been saying the wrong score the entire time, guys. So
yikes.
Usually I don't like backing over mistakes, but this is pretty cool.
Well, shout out to those watching at home for not calling us out. The only comment in the chat is old mate Jordan Halliday, student athlete, getting around BPL.
Yeah.
But you know, there is a scoreboard in the far sideline, but my eyesight is atrocious, so I have not been looking at that.
That does say 12 all. We could have just looked at that at any point. So the news story is that this point is it. It is sudden death.
Oh.
Next goal wins.
This is the stakes. This is what we want from this game. 100%.
How did I get that wrong? It's just counting. Great pull from Thorpe. That lands inbounds but rolls out, so that's going to be Project Lads. There's 64 from goal right in the corner. Ballarat setting up their zone. Their wing's not pushing in as tight as they did before, but all of Project Lads players are very close to the disc. Only Medic and Darlywal further than 15 metres away.
Is it
Sorry, it's going to go over the top.
Yep.
Oh, fine space out the back.
But Dollar just puts it pretty much back where it was.
It's going to have to be an over-the-top throw. It's the only way out.
Yeah. He's just too short to find the over-the-top reliably with that height of the cup. Oh,
yep, there we go.
Jacobs.
Thorpe v. Darlywal. And that's gone out of bounds. And that's going to...
Oh.
Because that left the field of play right where the throw was and never landed in bounds, Ballarat are going to get the disc about 2 metres from the end zone. So they've got to isolate Lyra Man. Man v. Meehatch. Who's got it, Katie? Who's got it?
I think it depends on the height. I reckon Meehatch horizontally, Meehan vertically.
This is coming out to provide double coverage, which means someone is on their own, and they've done it.
Oh, Ballarat won. But there has been a call.
Yep, call's made. They've celebrated early, but a call is made. Mehatch lost her footing maybe as a result of contact.
Yep.
Which is a very fair call to make.
Yep.
Hopefully Ballarat haven't blown all their energy on that one.
Yeah, bit of a discussion there between Mehan and Mehash, just trying to establish everyone's side of the story and what happened.
Yep. Yes, enjoying the game advisor coming over just to see if an arbitrary opinion is needed. Sorry, no, unbiased opinion is needed. There you go, thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, they've both gone to him immediately, so they'll both explain what they think happened.
Yep.
And John will just help him with the ruling. So he doesn't get to make a decision. His view is not binding. It's still up to the players to decide, to make the determination of what happened and what the outcome is.
But they're there to give a perspective if they had one, and also any interpretation of the rules and what the outcomes will be based on rules.
Yep. Did you see what happened, Katie?
I did not see the contact. I did see that Mihaj hit the ground, but whether that was a result of the contact or not, it's too difficult to say from this distance, and especially without the ability for us to see the replay due to our technical difficulties. Those of you at home may be seeing a replay right now.
Of course, the players don't get to see replays. So, yeah, it's uncontested offensive foul is the outcome. So, this is going to come back to Thorpe.
Yeah.
And so the player will restart.
Now, do you reckon he's going to take that same option again, or
100%.
Yep.
It'll be to Meehan, either to that back corner, or she'll come out for a reset.
Yeah.
And they'll need to look for a continuation.
Yep. There we go. There's that reset. But she was
inside
in.
break, and Ballarat get the win in sudden death. So that's exciting game.
Yeah, 13-12. That was exactly that rematch from regionals that we were expecting to be, but then unfortunately for BPL, they're now 0-5.
Yep, and Ballarat don't get their first win of the tournament. Best players in that game, we think that Tarrant Meehan and Lyra Meehan, probably Ballarat's best. Pat Thorpe played very well patrolling that deep space, that deep area. Kelly McLeod as well with plenty of run, and Lauren Tink. For Project Lad, Josh Lapari provided plenty of links on offense. Chloe McDonald in her first tournament back in quite some time was great as well. And Tom Bissett late in that game as well was instrumental on offense. So fantastic game from both teams. Great to watch. Thank you for joining us on the Ultimate Frisbee Australia YouTube channel. Simon Tolwood here.
And Kate Locke. And stay tuned as we've got many more games to come today. What do we got up next, Simon?
Next game coming up very soon is the top of the table clash in Pool A. Pompey Magnus versus Crank.
That'll be a great clash to watch.
Yep, so stay tuned. We'll be back with that game in a few minutes.
Yep, see you soon.